Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Reality Is, where words do come to life. Well, today, as you know, I always say when there are issues that are happening in our prison system or Cook County Jail, she's always going to be sending out a video. And so today, I'm sitting here with a mother who has something to say about Statesville and, as she stated, the lack of necessities. So let's talk about it.
Good evening, Renee. How are you?
I'm good, Linda. How are
I'm
you?
blessed and favored. Blessed and favored. Well, today I'd like to talk to you about being a victim of the justice system. Even though I sit here, I'm doing a sentence. I'm serving a sentence, excessive sentencing, and I'm here to talk about it because I'm sure there's other mothers going through the same thing I'm going through.
Mm-hmm.
Aunts, cousins, sisters, brothers have issues with our justice system. The dehumanization that's brought on to our family members, how it affects us, the excessive sentencing, how that affects us, wrongful convictions, how that affects us. But what's most important and stands out is the Accountability Act. I worked on a project with the group called Gang Intervention, and I was the voice of hope and aspiration. And doing those sessions that they have, which was with gang members, talking to them about the Accountability Act. Well, they prepared a script for me, and what they would always say in the script, Renee, was, even though my sons will never come home. Wait, hold on a minute. You're not God.
Right.
How can you determine that?
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm doing this healthy sentence, I'm still in my faith that this will change.
Mm-hmm.
But today I want to talk about the necessities that are being deprived for our relatives that are incarcerated.
Mm-hmm.
Prisons are now running short on food, water, the necessities. And the things that they do have, they have it so high that it affects the families.
Price gouging.
It affects the families. $3 for a bottle of water when they had it. They no longer have it. They're giving them water in bags. They
How
don't
much
have,
water are they giving them in bags?
well, they say it's 32 ounces.
So that's 3 bottles of water
Yes.
a day.
No, every 3 days.
Okay.
The food shortage, there's a food shortage in Statesville. There's
Okay, when we talked about this, here is my thing, and it just resonated with me just a few minutes ago. We have all these food pantries, all these food banks.
but
Why
our
is there
family members are,
a food shortage in the prison system?
there's a lot of things going on in the prison system. The privatization needs to end.
Mm-hmm.
It truly needs to end.
Mm-hmm.
For so long, they've had our family members working slavery days again.
Mm-hmm.
They've provided no substance for the inmates. In the last 3 years, I think they've phased out pretty much all of the programs that's much needed within the prisons.
Mm-hmm.
But my biggest concern is no water. How can you be without water when Walmart's, Statesville, for instance, Walmart's is up the road. You have a procurement fund to cover the needs for the inmates.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't it being used to purchase the water? Why is the inmates being deprived of decent food? I mean, they weren't getting decent food in the first place,
Mm-hmm.
but It was better than what's going on now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just time for a change.
So here is the thing. I posted a voice video um, earlier, and it was actually from an actual inmate. But a couple of things stuck out to me was when he was telling the story, he said there would be repercussions
Yes.
for him telling the story. And so it bothered me to know that you want to do anything to these individuals, whether they're innocent or guilty, who are still human beings, but you don't want them to complain about the conditions. Then I asked the question, would you put your family members in that situation? Would you put your mama in there? Would you put your daddy, your uncle, your auntie, your nephew, your cousin, or even your child in there? Would you put your mother in those type of conditions? And then the second thing that stuck out to me in that voice conversation was the upcharging.
Yes.
So it's not for the inmates because the inmates don't have a job. It's
Right.
the families who
That's
are
different.
sending the money in so they can purchase what they need, and their limit is $100, but they can't even spend $100 because there is not adequate enough food. And then here is the other point that stuck out to me in that
It's not
conversation.
just food, dear. It's clothes too. Everything.
Okay, well, everything. Here is the other thing that stuck out to me when he said the drinking water, that's 32 ounces of water. Water is 8-ounce bottles. Made a good point. Everybody's body weight is different. But here's the other flip side to it. They showering in it. They're rinsing out their clothes in it. They're brushing their teeth in it. They're washing their face in it. The water is brown. It smells like feces. It smells like sewage. And we are okay with
With
these
this.
conditions of treating human beings like animals. And then y'all have the nerve to get y'all raggedy asses on TV and before the people, and you say, we understand the conditions that's going on in our prison system. We are working on prison reform.
How? What is? I mean, you've been hearing that for the last 30 years. Prison reform, prison reform. They signed one or two bills. You know who are the last ones to reap from that? People of color. People of color are the last to benefit from the bills or laws that's been revamped.
Okay, so here is something that just came. So also in his conversation, he said that our elected officials are aware.
Hmm.
They've been aware. The governor is aware.
That's what he said.
They're aware. But here is the thing. You all are gearing up your Tony Prepwinkle, your Kim Fox, your Prisker, and y'all want to run y'all campaign on COVID-19. You want to run your campaign on COVID-19. You did such a good job on COVID-19. But I'm going to say this again. COVID-19 had a purpose. It's a God thing. And I
Yes,
want
it
y'all to
is.
understand this really good. God is pulling the shade. He's pulling the rug. He's opening the door.
Cutting the
He opened
lights on.
the windows and everything on what we say is fair, and it's only fair for white people. And I'm going back, and every time I go back, I'm going back to statistical data. I just said this not too long ago, and I'm going to keep saying it until you all understand. Per Kim Fox, statistical data, 90% in our system is black and brown. So what it says to me, black and brown are the only one who commit crimes, and that's a lie. Cause you white folks, y'all steal, y'all lie, y'all
Rape,
manipulate,
rob.
you do all that stuff. So why is it only 90% of black and brown incarcerated? And then she piggybacked in her analysis and said 50% of those individuals
Are
are
innocent.
innocent. But yet and still, we have these people sitting in these facilities. So it says to me that we want to put everything on the police department. And as we dig and as we uncover and as we become more aware, it ain't all on the police department.
No, it's not.
It is, the bulk of it is on your state's attorney's office. And I'm going to say this because they stall the process
Constantly.
and constantly. And they say, she gets up on this big platform and she said, well, I'm from Cabrini Green, and I'm aware of the conditions, and we're going to work on it. But see, y'all do all this talking. That's
Well, wait,
lip
what
service.
has she done for Cabrini since she's been in office?
Well, Cabrini Green is no longer there, but what has
Thank
she
you.
done as it relates to what has she done as it relates to prison reform? Nothing. So here's another one. Tony Prepwinkle. She's running for Cook County Board President
Again.
again. Now, she just raised the property taxes.
Yes, she did.
And her name is on the big old sign out there on 26 in California. And those conditions are not any better.
Deplorable.
They're not. I got a message today that they supposed to check the inmates when they ship them from one deck to the next for COVID. Pre-screening, right? Pre-screening didn't happen. So they transferred an inmate to a division. The inmate had been there for a while. The inmate had COVID. Stuck him in a room with another inmate. This is really not caring. Well, really, let's call it what it is. It's not giving a damn. The roommate say, why are you coughing so much? And then they found out that he had COVID. So they takes this inmate out of the cell and they shut the deck down for 2 weeks. So that means they can't have no visitors. They can't have no video calls. They can't have none of that whatsoever. But all the workers are masked up, gloves, and PPE equipment. And the inmates, y'all transferred the crap in there, but you're gonna cover y'all asses and you're gonna
leave everybody else uncovered.
And then if something go wrong, you're gonna tell the family members that
he died of COVID.
He died of COVID. Now, water brown in Statesville, lack of food, lack of necessities, but COVID is going to be the excuse
that they use.
That what happened to them.
That's right.
That's going to be the excuse that's being used. And when an inmate says that our elected officials are aware, I have a problem with that.
I don't have a problem with it.
You don't? Why?
Because, first of all, they know before we do.
Yeah, they know.
They know before we do. So, duh. Ray Charles can see through it.
Okay, but here is my thing. And I want you all to chime back in on this one. How can you say that you are effectively doing your job when these conditions are as they are? How can you part your lips to stand before people
and say, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing? But yet and still, so many people are dying. So many people are contracting these diseases that are being brought in to them because they're not going out to pick them up. They're brought in to them.
And the sad part of that is, if you go in jail healthy, you come out broke down, sick,
toe up, from the flow up, you toe up. Diabetes, high blood pressure, depression. And then the sad part about it, when they release you, they don't give you anything to assist you through what you've been through. They don't realize No, it's not that they don't realize. They
They
don't
don't
care.
care.
They don't
They
care.
don't care.
Every individual that comes out of incarceration should have a mental analysis done. They should be mandated to follow up, just like they have to do with the parole officers, follow up on their medical condition, their mental condition, because guess what? They're bringing their mental issues home
To the family.
Now the family got to deal with.
But on the top of that, nobody know what the traumatic experience was while it was on the inside.
Prison. That's right.
And nobody addresses that. Nobody addresses that. And it depends on the age of the person when they go in there will make a difference. And if they don't have family members that
are supportive,
that will write them and call them and be concerned about them.
Point. If a family member calls you from a prison and say, I don't have this, or they're forcing me to do that, you're supposed to get up the next morning on that phone calling to find out, to let them know you know. Because if you don't let them know you know, they'll do anything to you people.
I'm going to say this again, as I said on another stream. And I want everybody to understand who's going to watch this. When we understand that our elected officials are our employees and we are the employer, we can make big differences. See, we let them skate through and go along and do what they want to do. But understand, everybody, if they can't get their asses in the seat without your vote.
Your vote. Your vote. Get your ass up and vote.
And they need a percentage of your vote
in order
to get in that seat. And if they cannot keep their word of what they promised when they was on that campaign trail, and they come up with all excuses when that turn rolled around, evict their asses. Just like landlord evict tenants for not paying rent. We need to evict them for not keeping their word.
Make them accountable.
They want to make everybody else accountable.
Yes.
They screw up the budget and they tax us with the bill. We pay for the bill. Just like those inside these prison walls across these United States, we pay for the bill.
Yes, we do.
And they get rich. They use our people.
New slavery now. Jim Crow is still alive.
They use our people to put them in bondage, to break them down, to destroy the family. And then they use it as an excuse and say, you know, we are thugs. We are a threat to society.
A menace to society.
Well, you know who's the real threat? White folks. I want y'all to understand, because we ain't sugarcoat nothing here.
It is what it is.
Because y'all went over on the boat to the other side to get us.
We weren't bothering anybody.
And ever since then, you've been trying to make it seem like we are less than. When it come down to purchasing property, we are less than. When it come down to moving your neighborhood, we are less than. When it come down to certain jobs and skills and qualifications, we are less than. When it come down for us driving a nice car, we are less than. But we not that less than for y'all to get y'all asses in the tanning beds on the beach to get this color. See, we good for y'all to use us for the purpose in which you want to use us for, like building the White House.
But that's up now.
Yeah.
Time is up.
We're not doing that. So you trade the slave ships, you trade the auction blocks for the prisons.
And when they transfer them all over, that's part of the auction block.
And you still lying on us.
Yes.
You're still lying on us. Every time a black person get pulled over, every time that they say the police shot a black person, y'all come back on the news media and said they was dealing drugs, they was doing this, they was doing that, they was doing this. And that ain't always the case.
I have a question. And maybe someone can chime in and give me some insight. Billy, 18 years old, lives at home with his mother, who has 6 other children. The mother receives welfare. Billy's out there trying to help mother with maintaining the family. Mother doesn't have a job. Mother has welfare. Billy gets caught for selling marijuana when you got a store across the street that sells it all day long.
Hello.
But they not going in the store doing something to the proprietor, the owner. They're going to take Billy away
Mm-hmm.
and make him come back more angry, more. And don't let his mother die while he's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got hell to pay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you wonder why people are the way they are of color.
Mm-hmm.
They have lack of trust. But it's not just white folks. We're our own enemies as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because we'll turn coat on each other just like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you and I are sitting in the lockup and they put you in one room and me in another room, and they tell you, well, you're going to get 20 years if you don't tell me what Linda did.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to sing like a bird.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cover
to
your
the
butt.
one, that you're saying is not true.
Mm-hmm.
You're just trying to get past where you're trying to go. And there's nothing wrong with getting past where you're trying to go. Where the problem comes in at is the justice system, the way they work it, to make me
Lie.
guilty and to make you lie.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's wrong at. But I had a problem with that because I was thinking about that. You opening up all of these smoke shops
Mm-hmm.
in our community.
Making it legal.
In our community, making it legal.
Mm-hmm.
But because some choose not to go your legal route, they choose to still help Billy because they know Billy trying to help their mom.
Mm-hmm.
And you put Billy in jail.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Accountability Act. I want to know because I don't understand it. Who's accountable for what? How many pounds of marijuana was sold at the smoke shop up on the counter, and Billy only selling 5 or 10 bags in order to help Mama
To feed the rest of the kids.
to feed the rest of the kids, or to buy the baby some gym shoes or some
Mm-hmm.
Pampers or some milk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it's sad.
And then the biggest part of it all is, as you said earlier, there's no program. What are you doing for them
Yeah.
while they're in there? What's happening? Y'all
Well,
do all this
up
talking.
until 3 years ago, they were having different educational programs. I don't know when they phased them out, but
When they change the seats of the person of authority.
here's the problem I have. If I'm going to incarcerate somebody means to rehabilitate.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing to rehabilitate an individual to come out, to be able to get a job, to be able to sustain themselves if they have a family, work their way back into their family? What about that? I'd like an official to get in touch with us on that one.
They ain't got no answer. They ain't got
That's
nothing
why
to
we're
say.
doing the round table.
Mm-hmm.
The round table will address, make someone accountable for the activities that they have portrayed upon us as people of color. The round table will consist of 4 tables: dehumanization, excessive sentencing, wrongful conviction, and accountability. At these tables, we expect to have officials, Department of Correction, Illinois Attorney General, um, Public Defender's Office, Police Department, Judge's Office, State's Attorneys. We a pro bono attorney.
Private attorneys.
We want to have enough people in position that can actually go back and look at what we're talking about and return to us with some results. So this is why we're forming the round table. We're inviting family members and ex-offenders and come out and voice your opinion. Say what's on your mind. Say what you saw in the case. For instance, I saw in my son's case where they denied him early release because of his background history.
But he been in there how long?
20 years.
Where's his background history? He don't have none.
Now, if it was said before that when a person serves his time, that's it, why are we being held accountable for past experiences? Again, they're applying accountability. So now we're going to apply some accountability to you. We're going to ask Miss Preckwinkle or whatever her name is, attend this. Miss Fox, attend this. Director of Corrections and his body, attend this. Sharon Mitchell, public defender for appellate court, attend this. We want to have an audience with you to discuss our concerns. We're tired of sitting back, allowing what has happened to continue to happen. It's time for a change.
Okay, but let me say this. We're not just having conversation.
Oh, no.
We're expecting some results and some changes. And we was just on a Zoom call last week with the advisory council. And in the conversation, one of the young ladies said they're still working with MacArthur Foundation for prison reform. And as she continued to speak, she said, well, we got a program set up for 18 to 26. And I'm like, excuse me? You got a program set up for 18 to 26. There are multiple age ranges that's inside of those prisons. There are people that's below 18 and above 26. So what you're saying to me, y'all don't give a damn about anything below 18 and anything above 26. So that's not prison reform, honey.
No. That's picking and choosing.
Exactly. So you're not prison reform. Let's be clear about that. That is nowhere near prison reform. So y'all make all these things seem like y'all doing something grand, and it's not. And it's not. And again, I heard Steve Harvey said something about when the election was going on in Los Angeles. He said, y'all got to understand, we ain't sleep no more. We woke.
Wide awake.
And we tired of being sick and tired of what's being done to us. See, y'all got rules for everybody else. Y'all do for everybody else. And just like when I did a video that's on my page about Afghanistan, and then when the Haitians came over here, y'all had horses and whips. That's slavery. So you can't help people of color. You want to use the shit out of us, but you don't want to help us.
You don't want to help.
You want to get our color, but you don't want to help. And then you want to add a couple of dark sprinkles in your cabinet, think that's going to make a difference. That's not. It's not going to make a difference. And I don't care if it's yellow, purple, pink, blue, black, white, red. I don't care what color you is. If you are not holding up to your end of the bargain, if you're not doing what you promised you're going to do, then we need to make sure that y'all butts are removed from the seat.
Yes.
We're sick of the conversation. I hear it. I see it on Twitter. Y'all arguing about, what y'all ain't got no money for this, but y'all can miraculously find money for what you want to find money for.
Oh, yes.
And if you want to release some funds, release y'all damn checks.
Cut them.
Release your checks. And I want somebody to come up with a system when every elected official leave office that y'all got to go through the same damn process we do for unemployment. So you can understand, y'all sit behind these doors and make these rules and these regulations that benefit you all and the people who feed money up under the table to you. But y'all really don't give a damn about the United States. And if you want to be real honest, we ain't united.
Never.
Ain't nothing about this country united.
Nothing.
Not at all. And ain't nothing about this country free.
Oh, we have one united area.
And incarcerate people.
United to keep us incarcerated, to keep us in slavery, to keep us divided. We need to break that division first and come together and work together to address these issues. That's what we need to do. I don't care if you live in West Jackson, Illinois, and you got the same issue I got, we need to come together to see what we can do to help each other. And by helping each other is making our stories known, making someone accountable for our stories. They made us accountable, so why can't we make them accountable? Accountability doesn't say just for color, people of color. There's no front to it or a back to it. Accountability. That's it.
Hmm. Well, on that note, I want to say this. I'm not going nowhere. Nope.
And
Not
I'm
going.
going to continue to fight too, because I know in his word, he said, Jeremiah 33:3, call on him, and he'll show us great and mighty things unbeknownst to us.
And ain't no sense of consistently sitting behind closed doors and
Crying
complaining.
about it and not doing anything about it.
For every organization that represent prison reform, for every organization that represent the um, the laws of an inmate, of an individual, we need to come together and make some noise.
Some loud
And not
noise.
just tiptoeing. We need to hit it hard because we need some things changed from the local level all the way up to the White House.
If necessary, let's move it.
It's got to be done. And we're going to keep pushing till they get
We
done.
have no choice.
We're not giving up.
Our voices need to be heard.
And they are going to be heard.
Hear our cries.
Okay.
Let's get these prisons some water.
All
Make
right.
your donations
Make your donations
because they need help.
immediately. Immediately. And Governor Pritzker, if you
Tell them
watch,
how they can help us.
oh, you can donate water at West Section. Let me get the information for y'all. Let me get this here good old information for you. So we're collecting water. Donation at West Section, 141 South Shore. Donation days, drop off days are Tuesday and Friday. Time is 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can email West Section Club at gmail.com or you can call 312-259-8158 and speak with Mr. Eugene. He's going to be tracking if you donate water. We want to make sure those inmates get it. We don't want none of that water going to the guards at all.
Are going home in their
Hello.
bags.
Then you can email Sisters of the Hood 312 at gmail.com or you can call Linda at 773-858-4453. Okay? So again, West Section, 141 South Troy. Donation drop off days and time Tuesday and Friday. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Email West Section Club at gmail.com. Again, the phone number is 312-259-8158. You can speak with Mr. Eugene. All right. Or you can email Sisters of the Hood 312 at gmail.com, 773-858-4453. Put your money where your mouth at. You will make a difference.
Let's make a
Put your
difference.
money where your mouth at.
A little bit from everybody can create some kind of help for somebody.
Okay. All right. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until we talk again.
Be blessed.